So nice to see you. 8:45 is the time. U.S. Embassy's under siege. A homicide bomber kills a security guard at our embassy in Turkey, and the perpetrators of the deadly attacks in Benghazi, Libya, still not brought to justice. So is this the right time for the Obama administration to really be slashing military spending? Our guest, Pete Hegseth, is the CEO of Concerned Veterans for America. He's with us from Boston. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And really, that was just another reminder and a rude awakening yesterday with that attack in Turkey that we may not be as safe as we think we are. And the world is a very dangerous place. Is now the time to be cutting spending?
Now is the time to be cutting spending. Now is not the time to be cutting and gutting the Defense Department the way sequestration is. I understand, vets understand that our fiscal future with $16 trillion in debt, it's not sustainable. We cannot sustain the way our government is spending money. However, we also cannot balance our books on the backs of the Defense Department. We need to reform the way the Defense Department spends money and then also address the largest drivers of our debt and deficit, mandatory spending programs, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, that are not solvent, and if we don't fix them and reform them, will overwhelm our budget in a way that we continue to chop our budget the way you've seen the defense budget, the way you've seen this administration do it. It's a failure of leadership. They're chopping the military instead of addressing the real problems of out-of-control spending that need to be reformed.
Right, and with a failed reset with Russia and Iran being closer to having a nuclear weapon, I mean, are we really thinking that? I mean, what can we possibly do if our lawmakers are not balancing the books the way that they should be?
Well, we demand change. I mean, that's my organization, Concerned Vets for America, is trying to inject veterans' voice into this discussion to say, we understand what a threat looks like. I've walked on the battlefield. I know what a bad guy looks like. And I'll tell you, if we don't get our spending under control, that's the, as Admiral Mullen said, the single largest threat to our national security. Leon Panetta recently said that dysfunction in Washington is probably the biggest threat we face. If we don't get these things in order, we're going to see the really kind of cop-out, bad policy like sequestration that guts our military, guts our Navy fleet, guts our Marine Corps and Army in a way we can't afford in a dangerous world. But at the same time, we have to recognize we better get our spending under control. DOD can contribute to that by cutting fat, being smarter about how it spends the dollars it does have. But ultimately, you mentioned, we've got to find some courage in Washington to get it under control.
Right. You mentioned gutting our fleet. I mean, what's going to happen if something happens in North Korea? Are we even going to be able to get a ship out there?
Well, you're going to see less ships, less maintenance, less training, less moving, and therefore less deployments. These carrier groups are not going to be able to get out where they need to be to do what they need to do if they don't have the money to train and maintain on the front end. That is what you will see down the line. And I tell you, our Navy is how we project power. 70% of the world is water. 80% of its people live near water. That's how we trade. 90% of our goods go by. This is how America projects power. If we allow, I'm an Army guy, but I'll tell you, we need our Navy, and we need it strong and ability to project, and cutting it and gutting it, we cannot afford it in this dangerous world today.
All right, Pete, thank you so much. We're going to have to leave it there. Who are you going for in the Super Bowl, buddy?
Who am I going for in the Super Bowl? Ravens, I guess. But it hurts me to say so. My wife's a Steelers fan.
Okay, well, enjoy your wings and beverages. 8:48 is the time now. Tax to the max from